Hey everybody, my name is Rydo and we are looking at the new Kobolds and Catacombs expansion cards. So the expansion's not quite out yet, but you can see them by going into crafting mode and clicking here and filtering Kobolds. And if you want to just be double certain, you can click show uncraftable cards too. Last time we looked at the Druid, today we're going to look at the Hunter cards. The first card we have is a 1 mana, 1 attack, 3 durability weapon card called Candle Shot. It is immune while attacking, so not a terrible weapon for a hunter. The hunter probably has a slightly fewer weapons than you would like, and this is something I could easily see people playing. It allows a hunter to kill 1 mana creatures for the first 3 turns, particularly, and protect his own 1 mana beast that he often ends up trying to summon while he tries to get out Scavenging Hyena by the 2nd or 3rd turn. So that'll work strategically very well. Next we have a 2 mana spell called Wandering Monster. It's a secret. When an enemy attacks your hero, summon a 3-cost minion as the new target. So this really only feels slightly different than the Paladin card secret that has a 2/1 creature summon and become the new target of an attack. It's again very useful to keep those beasts that you've summoned alive for 1 more turn while you're trying to get Scavenging Hyena out. When playing a beast deck, that is always the when playing a beast deck with Scavenging Hyena as a major factor, that is the most difficult thing, is just keeping your beast alive long enough to get him on the field. This will help. So I could see playing these 2 cards, which is interesting because I only saw about 1 card in the Druid expansion that was even really caught my eye, 1 or 2. Next we have a 3 mana, 2 attack, 4 health creature called the Cave Hydra. It's a beast minion, and it also damages the minions next to whomever attacks. It sounds pretty good. I wouldn't be upset if we saw more minion cards like this, but this also has a potential of pushing out a regular minion that was just 3 mana and 2 attack and 4 health. If there is a card like that, there's really no reason to play a card like that if it instead of this. And that's eventually what's going to happen, and happens in almost all card games, is the regular neutral cards either have to be made cheaper than the ones with effects, or they just never get played. And for the most part, people don't like to play neutral cards, neutral minions that have no effects anyways. It just feels like a loss. Next we have a 4 mana spell called Flanking Strike. Deal 3 damage to a minion, summon a 3/3 wolf. Not bad, really just an expansion of other cards we've seen, and I think we're going to see a lot of that. I'm getting the feeling that Kobolds and Catacombs really is just going to be a filler expansion for a lot of instances, just trying to make the game more fleshed out, take cards that at one point may have only been available for 1 hero and make them more available for other heroes. I imagine the next expansion after this one will see a lot more thematically themed cards and craziness added back in. Next we have a 5 mana spell called the Lesser Emerald Spellstone. This is one of their new things that upgrades. So summon 2 3/3 wolves, but play a secret to upgrade. So you keep this, I believe, in your field, in your hand, and you play a secret before you play this, which at 5 mana, almost certainly that's going to happen if you're playing a secret deck for the hunter. And most people play at least 1 secret, the explosive secret that does 2 damage to all minions and enemy and the hero. So then it will upgrade, I assume in your hand, to a better version of this. It might upgrade to a more expensive version too, but sadly they don't show you what the upgraded versions. There's plenty of room here. There really is to show off what the upgraded versions would look like, but they don't do it. Next we have a 6 mana, 5 attack, 4 health creature called the Seeping Oozling. Battlecry, gain the death rattle of a random minion in your deck. This, on the face of it, doesn't seem like it's much of a card. But actually, it has the potential to be an amazingly good card. Because there are some legendary cards you can have that have death rattles that do all kinds of things. Deathwing, for instance. No, Deathwing kills everything when it's summoned, so that's a battle cry. Well, I'd have to go look, but I'm certain that there is a legendary with a death rattle that does something amazingly. And if that is the only card you have in your deck that has a death rattle, which is a decent chance for a hunter if you make a custom deck that way, playing this on the 6th turn gives you a good card with an amazing effect. Next we have a 6 mana spell called Tune My Side. Summon an animal companion or 2 if your deck has no minions. Interesting. But I don't know when you'd ever want to play this. Like, this seems like a really expensive spell to summon an animal companion. And it seems like a kind of cheap spell to play if your deck is not going to have any more minions in it at all. There's probably a crazy, very specialized deck you could build with a card like this, but in reality, I think this one's pretty much a loser as far as a card, unless I'm misunderstanding it. I don't think I'd want to play that card. Next, we have a 7 mana spell called Crushing Walls. Destroy your opponent's left and rightmost minions. This is a new idea of destroying minions based on their positioning. Hearthstone, in very subtle ways, has always had some effects that worked around positioning, but they haven't done a lot with them, and so this is certainly a new idea. When playing a hunter now, players are going to have to go, do I want to put the minion on the left or the right, or do I want to put this minion in the middle? But for 7 mana, I'm not sure it's particularly worth playing at all. Next we have a 7 mana, 4 attack, 2 durability weapon called the Rock Dealer. Battlecry, if your deck has no minions, fill your hand with hunting spells. Again, I don't see the reason why you would want to make a hunter deck like this. Like, why would you want a deck where it's specifically designed so you run out of minions just to get a bunch of hunting spells? I understand what they're trying to do here. The hunter deck has always been very focused around the idea of having lots and lots of beasts, and the usually cheap beasts that you trade damage for damage. So you'll kill a minion, they'll kill one of your minions, back and forth, all the meanwhile you're using your hero ability to do 2 damage, or you're managing to do more damage than the opponent is. Now they're trying to introduce cards that say, why don't you make a hunter deck that's not so focused around having a bunch of minions in your deck? And so far I've only seen 2 reasons to justify that, and it doesn't seem like it's a good enough reason. That being said, maybe we'll find in the neutral cards some more cards that synergize with that idea, and it will make more sense later. Right now it doesn't. Here we have a 8 mana, 6 attack, 6 health legendary minion called Catherine Winterwisp. Battlecry and Death Rattle, recruit a beast. And I am assuming that the key phrase recruit means you get the beast in your hand, not on the field. Otherwise it would just be summon, unless they're getting rid of the phrase summon. So Hunter has a couple of good ones that interest me, and then the rest of them haven't really caught my eye. But we'll have to see, certainly. If anything, it's getting right down to the fact that Kobolds versus Catacombs, I think the Kobold cards are not going to be the interesting part of this expansion. I think the Catacombs solo adventure is going to be the interesting thing, and we'll see how that goes. I suppose when that comes out tomorrow, I can probably play most, if not all of it, right then. Maybe not. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.